Let's breathe together, please. Take about 3 nice deep breaths. We're just going to take a moment to settle into this sacred space. This is a time for extreme healing and awareness of your energy body's new anatomy. Being able to be present with your new human energy system. Those who have been on the awakening and ascension journey will be more familiar with this aspect of becoming a new human for this new earth experience. Before we get started, I just want to share that I am the AliNICOLE, considered the WOW Empress. And as we're in this space together, it will be a wow time experience. And the wow of this present moment is all about being in awe of the life that we live. Understanding that we are magnificently and wonderfully made. Source fashioned us in such a way, and just our basic anatomy is just a phenomenon within itself, a miraculous wonder. But as we continue to evolve, we learn about the different dimensions of our existence, new levels of our anatomy, unventured territory, unexplored realms of just how unique and magnificent we really are as extensions of Source. So we're going to start on a journey of going into a higher level of ascending with our 8th and our 9th chakra. We're also going to ground the energy with the 10th chakra. And I'll share a little bit about the functionalities, especially within this newer format. It's important to focus on the new energy and the new awareness for healing in a very unique way by actually focusing into the new anatomy without having to put the focus on the areas of our physicality that may be challenging us, or even the traditional aspects of the energy body, the subtle energy body that we've learned about in terms of what creates imbalances. But in this space, we are going to focus into the new energy, the new vibration, to activate that part of your anatomy that will then sort of start to overtake the older vibrations, any lodged debris of the imbalanced energy. It's just a different way to heal. But really it is the journey to your true wholeness, because within your new anatomy, you are studying your unique template, which has very different fundamentals, very different foundations and formats, and also functionalities. And so we have to be very present in the now energy so that we're in relationship and in harmony and unification with our new anatomy, so that it can reveal to us exactly what is unique to our well-being and wholeness. And this is important because we learn so much about our anatomy, and we learn so much about the energy body from a traditional standpoint. But within this new anatomy, as I mentioned, it's going to be your unique template. So sometimes the energy body or the different systems, within those parameters, so to speak, and the chakra systems, they reveal different levels of insight and wisdom that will be unique to you. Certainly there are general premises for each of the functions, but we have to make sure that we're not confined and constricted to those understandings. So we have to be flexible and understand that they can take on new formations at any time that's going to be unique to an individual. So in these processes, it really is about stepping into your own unique individuality and being able to access this new DNA and the new capabilities of your new anatomy for your new human experience. This is what being ascended, in a sense, is all about. We have to have a new creation body in order to experience the higher benefits of this higher and lighter experience. And so what will be taking place within the context of what is going to be going on within this sacred space is that we're going to be stepping more into your luminous light body energy. And that's where the 8th and the 9th chakras come into play. And so we really want to be extremely present in that energy. And we can activate these at a higher level, even without going through the traditional pillar, the ladder of 7 of the chakras that we find within our bodies. These are ascendant chakras that we're going to be dealing with. And so with that ascendant energy, these are the chakras that are outside of the body. And so, we know that the crown chakra, the 7th chakra, is, above our heads. It is outside, of the body. But the 8th and the 9th begin the true levels of ascension, or what's going to be required in fully activating, in a sense, the new human anatomy, where it allows the functionality of the traditional ladder of 7 to come forth in a way that's going to be more meaningful and holistic and tangible within your experience, in terms of having the well-being be really substantial within your everyday life. And that's very important, very important. So I also want to preface before getting started here that this is a new age, a non-new age way, I should say, of healing the chakras and being with the chakras. And the reason why I point that out is because normally when we hear about the chakras and the energy body, a lot of the context is around a lot of the New Age philosophies. But within the newer human experience, we are so beyond the labels and the traditions. And there are many different schools of thought and paradigms or religious um, communities that don't subscribe to the New Age concepts. And so I don't actually really teach from that premise, but I do realize that there are a lot of people who are missing out on the benefits of what is true for our total well-being. And so sometimes they can shy away from that because it's packaged within a framework that they don't subscribe to. And within this context, it is not assigned to any school of thought, so to speak. It is really your biology, but this is the biology and makeup for this new human experience. And we have to become a new creation to participate in this next level of the human experience. So with that being said, everyone take a nice deep belly breath, please. So this is a time of ascended aviation, if you will, where we want to focus on the new anatomy. And you don't have to know a lot about the new anatomy, so to speak. You just have to be aware that there is a new anatomy that wants to come forth. And a lot of times when there's sicknesses and there's illnesses or there's imbalances in the body, a lot of chronic scenarios that are taking place, it's really because the newer systems are trying to come forth. And often we try to heal what's going on with us in these traditional ways. And when I say traditional ways, I'm even speaking about some of the newer context to holistic healing. Because what we'll find is that a lot of the vibrations, even surrounding those contexts, are really outdated. They're very great for knowledge and a premise for understanding. However, in this more ascended awareness and state of beingness, we have to allow the flexibility and the flow, the fluidity, if you will, of what I was speaking about earlier, where different levels of these systems that are coming forth, they take on different formats and functionalities according to what's going on in the present. Again, this is a very different way that the body starts to heal and access your inner wholeness sanctuary is what I call it. But dealing with the energy system is vital because that's the life force energy. And this is the new life force energy. And during this time in humanity's evolutionary shifting, we're learning how to ground and anchor new awarenesses in a more accelerated and higher and deeper level activated level. So just with me even bringing that forth, I want you to take another nice deep breath, please. At this point, I want you to imagine that you are seated in this higher ascended place of what would seem to be luminous. So whatever luminous means to you, if it's a place of higher light, if it's a feeling, whatever that is for you, I want you to be present with that vibration. And as you're present with that vibration, I'm going to share just a little bit from a traditional, in a sense, standpoint of the eighth and the ninth chakra. And then I'll talk a little bit about the 10th as well. My goal for this particular process is really to make you aware of this higher energy that's already within you, that is literally trying to get out. Some of you probably have felt a little bit of contrast recently with a few health projects, so to speak. And again, we're not going to focus on that energy, but I'm just bringing this up at this time because I want to make you aware of what's actually been taking place if you have felt like you've moved so many steps forward only to feel like you have moved several steps backwards. There's been sort of a competing energy in terms of the new that's emerging and rising, and the old, or current, so to speak, that is not necessarily fighting to hang on to its place. It's just having disruption. And as it's having disruption, understanding that it is exiting. What's happening is that the new energy, and I use this analogy often, the new energy is coming up more like Drano. And Drano being poured into a pipe and bringing up the old energy, the old gunk and things within the pipe so that it can clear. And so that's what's been going on for many of you. But the shift that takes place within this process to relieve, if you will, some of that contrasting energy is that now that you're aware, we can just focus into the new anatomy, because that's what's going to activate the new human energy system within you to start to stimulate the wholeness vibration. This is more than just about healing an area. This is about wholeness. And that's what this new ascended energy brings forth, so that you can live that life of thriving and sustaining this higher level frequency that's coming through you. So the eighth chakra is located slightly above the crown chakra, about an inch or so above it. And normally this is known for where we enter these different realms that are really transcending time and space. It's a high level energy center, and it opens us up to access what would be other realities, so to speak, or universal energies or contexts. It's where a lot of the deeper healings and communications come in from higher level support or divine support. In the newer energy, the 8th chakra, which is part of that luminous energy that is connected with the 9th chakra being a luminous cord. What we find is that this is really about entering into this higher level of transcending into your unique template for your new anatomy. So this is not about opening you up to different parallel realities, different universes, previous records or so within your soul's archive, so to speak. Not opening you up to spirit guides or any of those traditional formats that most leverage when they're talking about this aspect of the chakras. This, as I mentioned, just opens you up into this higher state of awareness of your unique template for your new human experience. So there'll be illumination to your evolutionary journey and what that means now and why it's important to be ascended and transcending the different trajectories that you've been on prior to this moment, because this is going to align you with the ultimate truth for this phase of your journey. And it's going to bring forth the healing and the wholeness that is really required during this time. So the 9th chakra, which is located further above the crown chakra, most known to be the seat of the soul, so to speak, and it really does allow you to access what would be your soul's higher purpose through different codes or encoding that's within you. In this newer anatomy in the energy, this contains some of that premise, as well. But it really reveals more of the expanded awareness around what the transcendent energy is as it relates to the 8th chakra. A lot of times, what I get the sense of is that they operate as one, though they are separate, but they seem to be very unified. And that's why the luminous energy, because this is all about the illumination and shining the spotlight on the higher awareness of the newer context of you and the truth of your truth template for this time. You'll be amazed at what is revealed to you when you're in this energy, this space of luminosity, if you will. So I want to talk a little bit about the 10th chakra, which most are going to be surprised is that it's actually located about 1.5 feet so below the surface of the ground. And this is really about ensuring your connection to the earth. And so while most believe that the root chakra is what grounds us, so to speak, and it does in terms of the energy within the physical body, the energy body system of the seven ladders, okay? But when we're outside, in a sense, of the ascended anatomy, we have to have not just what's ascending up, but also we have to have what keeps us grounded. And I often talk about imagining yourself as being a tree, and that you are grounded and rooted, so to speak, but you are also expanding upward into the heavens. And though the root chakra is responsible for that physicality grounding energy, so to speak, in terms of, again, our physical anatomy. But in the ascended anatomy, which is our new template energy, again, we have to have a grounding cord for that as well. In the newer context of this, it is your new earth grounding, so to speak. And so it is connecting you to the vibrational field and template of that newer energy. And it's very important because you need that new grounding and that new anchoring, that new connection to this new template. Because just as you have the new anatomy, there's a new trajectory that you are on that is requiring you to have this new anatomy. So we're going to start with being more in the luminous space of the 8th and 9th, and then we will ground that which we have processed with the 10th chakra energy. So everyone, take a nice deep breath, please. So I'm not being guided to focus in a color therapy way, just more in a vibrational, energetic way. So what's interesting is that the 8th chakra energy is actually requesting that you tune into it as if you're hearing a melody. So maybe that some vibrational sound therapy comes in during this process. So you may begin to hear different rhythm and cadence, even to what's being vocalized through me. So that it transmits that sound therapy energy to awaken those newer aspects of your new ascended anatomy. The energy body in this newer format is calling forth to be this instrument of higher change and messaging. This is about the communication of evolution through your unique expression of your anatomy coming forth. This would be considered like the epitome of turning yourself inside out, as we hear that expression often about everything is from the inside out. It's an inside job first. no matter what you are exuding, whether it's beauty, whether it's abundance. It's all about the inside coming out. And so that's what this energy is inviting. Shining the light on that which is inward in terms of what does the soul want to communicate through a rhythmic expression, if you will? What is the song and melody uh, that wants to be played through you at this time? That's what needs to be illuminated. It is your song of wholeness. And this song of wholeness is what heals you, and it heals others. So let's be present in this space. What is your 8th chakra? Revealing to you about the song of wholeness for this phase. What is it illuminating? What is your luminous instrument of self-expression coming forth? What is the song? What is the melody? So what's coming to me at this moment is that you're to imagine yourself being strummed like a guitar, but also played like a violin. And it's interesting because as this is coming through, I am motioning within those functionalities of strumming, of playing like a violin, and almost moving my hands like a conductor. And that is the message to you, that you are the conductor of your unique symphony, the symphony of this new song. Multiple instrument demonstrations coming through you. You are more than just one melody, more than just one instrument. You are the orchestra of expansive evolution. Mm. You sit with that energy. Mm. There's such power in that. Some of you may feel yourself swaying or just awestruck with the fact that you can sense a melody playing through you, queuing up. And even if you can't hear it, you can feel it coming forth. That your new anatomy is orchestrating itself accordingly to get ready to play the new melody for this season of your life. Let the sound of my voice feel yourself queuing up Feel yourself tuning. Feel yourself starting to conduct this symphony of source expression through you. What is source communicating about this new luminous way of being? What is being illuminated for the melody that wants to come forth? Because this is what you're going to start to announce vibrationally to the world. Your world will be evident to people what the song is without you even announcing it. What the core theme of this expression that's coming forth. What do you hear emerging? What's emerging? What's been in queue that can no longer be in queue anymore? What has to be illuminated through expression during this time? Take a deep breath, please. Let's just sit with that energy before we hear from the ninth chakra. Be present with that. It's shifting so much of the anatomy, bringing forth the new vibration, the new energy, and the new energy body, and the rhythms and flows and new patterns that are being activated during this time. Take 3 deep breaths, please. So let's be present with the ninth chakra. And though this is most known again about really being the seat of the soul, but the energy that's actually coming through is standing. Standing in this new awareness. But positioned, which would be considered seated in a sense, positioned in this solid new source authority. This is where that source song really comes forth from the activation within the 8th chakra in this new anatomy format. Let's be present. What are you standing in and as during this time in the source expression? I'm hearing standing in your truth, meaning that source song that's coming through is your truth of relevance for this phase of the journey, and that's what you need to stand in your authority. exude in that divine expression. There's something else that's queuing up during this time as well, so I need to be present with this energy. So what's interesting, what's coming up is it's standing in the surety, being solid about being a new creation, solid about this new source template for your life, your new truth. Committed. The word committed is coming up. It's committed to this phase of your calling, your call to life, your call to new source expressions. Because that's your soul's purpose during this phase, is to express source in a more luminous way, in a more illuminating way. This is so what the world needs, is these types of representations and demonstrations. There's not enough people aware of this newness of who they are, which means there's not enough of the luminous light going forth in this new expression of source. When each and every person is exuding their own individuality according to the templates of your new anatomy and new DNA. When there's not enough of this being demonstrated, that's why we've been so far behind in evolution. But now with these new awarenesses and all of this coming together, and we're going to ground this energy in what this stand is, what this source song is, because this is the higher expression of illumination. And when that's happening, this luminous light force goes through the earth in a very expedient format. It's evolution multiplied, and that's what we need. That's the light, the luminous energy that we need to be emitting, like frequency going out. Your unique light codes within you that are becoming more activated, and that's what's bringing forth this not just higher light, it is the required light. This is where the magic, if you will, really takes place. So take about 5 deep breaths, please. So what's coming to me right now is there are 2 streams that are flowing simultaneously, yet such a cohesive part of the experience. So one side is like a very rapid stream, and it's gushing, it's flowing, it's creating this force that's moving very fast. And then there's the calm stream that on the surface seems to be still. It doesn't look like much is going on. Yet underneath, there's so much activity that's taking place. And it too is moving in a very rapid way. And I feel those two streams merging. Oh, here we go. So this represents the life force river, your life force river, where for some of you, it seems like there's not been a lot of progressive forward movement in an accelerated way that you can see tangibly. You've been energetically getting this and sensing this and feeling this. And there have been things that are queuing up, happening very fast. But the trajectories have not merged to where you see the full expression and tangibility of those streams. Within this process, because the new anatomy is being activated for the new template, those streams are now merged into a cohesive experience. And within this activating process, you will start to see over the next day or so, few days, weeks, even going into several months, where the tangibility in a very accelerated format will reveal what's been going on underneath the stream of rapid activity that has not been projected on the surface. You're going to start living that expediation, that acceleration, accelerated expedient evolution. Hmm. And this is the life that you'll be standing in and as. And this will be the luminous demonstration before others. This is what's going to help to change and transform so many just by your vibrational countenance and this expanded demonstration of your evolution. You will truly be Anew, truly be a new creation. Mm. So let's be even more present with the ninth chakra and see if there's any other wisdom that needs to be revealed during this time. I feel such a deep movement, depth of what's been touched and activated. This is what's required for this new human experience. Having these chakras activated higher in this way. Go into the depths of who you are. And what it is it's almost like it is gently drilling, like a hole being drilled, so that there's a deeper capacity. Oh, this is so important before we ground in the 10th chakra. Oh, this is magnificent. I love being in this space, in this energy. It's such a new level of profoundness. I find that every time this expansiveness is taking place, something to just marvel at. It's so magnificent. Really hard to put into words, but the feeling is just beyond incredible. You can feel the love of source in a way in which you haven't before. Tender on a different level. Security on a different level. So let's do some more deep breathing. Breath work is extremely important, especially as it relates to new energy flowing through the body, this new anatomy, new breath of life, new life force energy. We're going to do some deep breathing, about 7 deep breaths, please. And before we ground this energy in this sacred space, and continue to breathe if you haven't reached your 7th breath, as we ground this energy, I want you to feel into, once again, the theme, the melody, the song that wants to come forth at the 8th chakra revealed, and also the power of that standing in this new position of authority, and all the context that the 9th chakra revealed. I want you to almost scan that process energetically. See if there's anything else that wants to be revealed. And even if it's not through words or insight, it could be a sense of something else. So that we can bring this into a cohesive, accumulated vibration to then anchor in the new earth connection through the 10th chakra. Let's just be present. What is lighting the way at this time? Or what is lighting the new way for you at this time? What has become more luminous? And what does luminous mean to you right now? It's all about the power of the present moment. So as you stand in and as the higher source that's activated within you, in this new source song that will be played out in this new trajectory for this phase. Let's take all of the wisdom and insights and what you sensed, what you felt. And now see yourself almost putting this in your 10th chakra. And seeing it turn into a whole new world. Like witnessing a globe. But seeing that chakra as a globe. That's your world. But then so much more expansive beyond that. Because this ascendant energy being grounded. The expansive universe, multiverse, however you want to view that. But again, in your own template. So ask your 10th chakra to reveal to you your new Earth's soul assignment for this phase. Now that you have grounded and anchored that which the 8th and the 9th chakra have revealed. What does this all mean for now? And what's coming to me as the scriptures talk about what's bound on earth is loosed in heaven, what's loosed on earth, or what's loosed in heaven is also bound, here on earth. It's about the grounding, the parallel energy being one. What's ascended and what's grounded and what's anchored and ascended. All working together for the cohesive functionality of your new anatomy. So if there's anything else that's been revealed, we want to take this and now activate this at the deepest level. And this is where you let down your anchor for the moment and stand and be planted in this truth. Take a few more nice deep breaths, please. Activating this deeply in the new energy body. Awakening more of the new ascendant anatomy for this new human experience. And recoding any parts of the current anatomy that need to be made anew. And activating this new human energy system for this phase. Please be present with this energy just a little bit more. Breathe. We are complete. Let's just be with the space. Just a few more moments here. Thank you so much for being present for this process. Feel your newness. Feel the anchored and ascending energy. And start to take notice of the newness of you, the newness of your life expression, and the newness of the world that has now been activated from the inside out. Take another nice deep breath in. Be healed. Be whole. And feel into that wholeness. And be blessed. Thank you.